Okay, episode 18. Why we keep repeating the same patterns.
Welcome to Processing Life with Ness and Yan. This podcast is where we process life out loud, messy, honest, and unfinished. Let's process life together.
Uh-huh.
Guilty.
Yeah.
So,
Isa sa guide questions natin is why do smart people keep repeating the same mistakes? And ang nag-pop up kagad sa akin is because it has nothing to do with intelligence.
yeah, it has nothing to do with who you are, how you were brought up into this world.
It's really just everybody has a pattern.
And most of the time, we don't see that pattern.
We don't.
Or we refuse to see the patterns.
Yeah. Do you want to share to them how you've discovered your patterns?
I didn't discover them. You showed me that. You showed me all of my patterns. Our coach also
Yes.
showed me the patterns that I've been working on.
And what was your reaction when I told you about a pattern that I was seeing?
Is this the recent one? Because
Or
I
whichever,
don't.
even the old,
Because
from years ago.
okay. If it's nothing specific, I would always resent you for pointing me to my patterns or pattern. But in hindsight, I know and I'm aware that I have those patterns. It's just so hard to do the other thing or the opposite thing that you're so used to doing. That's why it became a pattern, diba? It's a loop.
Yes.
It's an automatic reaction, an automatic action.
Yes.
Literal.
Like a knee-jerk.
Yeah, it's a knee-jerk reaction na if we're operating super fast, hyper speed, wala ka ng time to pause, kahit nga pause to pause and do the opposite thing that you're so used to doing.
Yeah.
And so, for me, having so many patterns, I'm slowly, consciously, intentionally, mindfully giving myself a chance to pause.
Yeah. It's the only way to actually stop or to just become aware.
Yeah, kasi it's hard. And maraming factors ulit kung how effective you are with those forks in the road, right? Like, if you're super stressed, you're unwell emotionally, physically, mentally, your state of mind is not there, you will easily miss it, easily go back to your defaults. And so it really takes a lot of work.
Yeah. For me, I only noticed my pattern because I've experienced depression in different stages in my life. When I was a child, a teen, a young adult. And that's how I know I have a pattern because I keep going back to the same low. So low that I would have suicidal thoughts, that I would always feel sorry for myself, that I would start thinking of the worst thing that can happen or the worst thing that had happened and kind of just stay there, just feeling sorry for yourself because this and this happened. Up until I was around my maybe early 30s or mid 30s, that I found myself depressed, almost wanting to, just having thoughts. I don't act on them, but I do have suicidal thoughts, even in my 30s. And I was like, oh, come on. I thought I've learned so many lessons already. I'm here again. I hated myself for it, but I also hated that I was hating it that I was there. One of the things that I wanted to do to change the pattern was, okay, out of the blue, I searched for Reiki training. And I told myself, I want to start healing myself naturally because I tried going to a psychiatrist once and it didn't work. I don't know what it was about Reiki. I had no idea what Reiki was about. And I said, okay, I'm going to Google search this. If there's a place near me, that's a sign. And there was one just 30 minutes away. And I went. I did go through that 2-day training and another 2-day training, but my pattern wasn't really broken. I just became aware that I had a pattern. It doesn't automatically go away, but it's the fact that you know that it exists. You kind of put a flashlight towards it, and all of a sudden, it's not that dark. It's not that evil. It's not that overwhelming. Like, parang kaya ko to. Hindi siya ganyan kalaki. Because if you don't put a spotlight towards it, you think it's this big monster hiding in the closet. Pero pag tinurnan mo yung ilaw, there's really no monster. It's actually just a little girl who didn't feel loved when she was very little and developed coping mechanisms, survival tactics that turned out to be unhealthy, but it helped her survive. So she kept repeating the pattern because she survived through the most difficult ordeals. So that's why we have the pattern. And we will keep clinging to that because it works.
So, how early do you think we've had those patterns?
It starts around 5 years old.
That early.
That early. It's because the brain is a sponge. It will absorb everything without really thinking, is it healthy or it's not healthy? It will not choose what to absorb. It will just absorb everything. So if you're surrounded by people who were grieving, people who were manipulative, people who also were clingy or, needed attention, or people who need a lot of mothering. So you will also have that. And you're surrounded by people who don't know they have patterns.
Grabe, no? And so, like, for me, yeah, agree ako dun sa, like, it became my coping mechanism and also my sort of protection. Because, like, for the longest time, it worked for me. At least for the old Yan. Or at least, I thought it did me good. Pero nung lumaki na ako, tumanda na ako, nagtrabaho na ako, naging independent na ako, nag-iba nag-iba lahat. Like, iba na yung gusto ko, iba na yung mga paniniwala ko. And so, one by one, I had to put a spotlight on each of those patterns. Thanks for your help. Thanks for our coach's help. Because I would be so defensive, so resentful kapag iba yung nagpapakita sa akin, lalo na si Nes. Because
I can be brutally honest too, so.
Iba kapag, di ba, closest to you usually, iba yung effect kapag pinopoint out sa'yo yung mga patterns mo. Pero, alam mo yun nga, bago tayo magkaroon ng hard conversation around my patterns, alam ko na siya. Alam mo yung hindi ko lang, it's hard for me to accept that fact. Or it's hard for me to acknowledge na I did have those patterns. That's why I got stuck. That's why I kept going back to the same things, to the same scenario, and wonder bakit. Diba? Like, yung sinasabi natin na you're expecting a different result without changing anything. Diba? So, it doesn't really work that way, and it applies to our daily lives.
Ang nakikita ko rin pattern that around our late 30s, mid-30s to late 30s, and early 40s, dun din nag-start parang you awaken to the fact that, wow, I have done this, I've been repeating the same loop. I feel like yung pattern natin stops working around that age. And so, yung coping mechanisms natin, our survival tactics, stops working around 35 to 45. So, you're like, wait, I've been always overgiving. It has worked for 35 years. And then all of a sudden, I'm so drained.
I need my boundaries. I need to say no more.
Otherwise, ma-hospital ka na. Ubus na yung dugo mo.
I need to take care of myself.
Yeah. So maybe it's also, in a way, helpful that there comes a point in your life where you suddenly become aware that what has been working for you for some time now is no longer working. Kaya nga minsan yung mga rituals natin where you release, you actually say, I release blank and blank, or I release what no longer serves me. Because one of the things that is no longer serving us as we grow older, it's the old patterns that we've been doing. It's one of the things that we need to release para mag-stop yung loop, and we create a new pattern actually. We create what works for us. And dito papasok din, which we learn from our coach, the neuroplasticity, where our brain is capable of learning, of changing its pattern, of creating new neural pathways. So no matter how old you are, if you want to learn to play the guitar, if you want to learn a new language, that creates a new neural pathway until that pathway thickens and then it becomes a part of you. Mahirap na siya tanggalin, and you create that new neural pathway by practicing it every day. So creating a new lifestyle, creating a healthier life, creating a more positive life is actually a daily practice. So you can create a new pattern or a new neural pathway. Anyway, it's good. Kung natuto tayo ng patterns when we were children, we can still learn.
Yeah, and again, we keep learning in this journey and adventure called life. And for me, yung patterns ko really didn't work for me anymore. Like, I felt na sobrang hindi na siya nag-work. So, it's really time to move on and change the direction of my decisions, because that really stems from old patterns yung mga decisions ko. And if I wanted to make changes in my life, it really starts with that simple decision. Like, nakwento ko yun sa'yo before, how my brain works, na para siyang flowchart. So, masyadong technical, masyadong computer brain. So, medyo geeky. So, same way dito, it's like a decision tree every time. And so, ang kulang na lang, parang dapat meron akong conditional statement or warning na this is an incoming pattern. And then, merong decision tree after na proceed or different path ang gagawin ko.
Naalala ko naman how I make decisions naman is, it's not random, but it's just spread too many options that's hard for me to choose. So nakita ko rin na in a way it's a pattern where it's the indecision is a pattern. Kaya when I became aware of that, I said, no, this can't work anymore. Just make a decision and just accept the consequences, because at least you stopped overthinking it. And yeah, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna fall flat on your face, but at least you are becoming more aware that these patterns, although convenient because it's what you've been doing, diba? There's no discomfort there, but it's not working anymore. And alam mo namang you can improve that. Kasi, diba, Libra sun, pag Libra, it's always indecisive. Sabi ko, no, I'm not gonna settle for that. I'll just accept na indecisive ako. I'm gonna change that and just make decision. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Yun talaga yung line na nakasulat sa whiteboard ko. And just to share one example of a pattern. It's, for me, one big pattern has been around pleasing everyone else. And so my boundaries are really, really thin to zero. And for the longest time, wala ako nun. I always catered to everyone's needs. I fail at saying no or choosing to have an opinion separate from the rest. And so it was so hard to break. It took a while. It took years of practice to finally say no or keep saying no. To accept na people will dislike you or people will think of you differently when you do the opposite thing that they're so used to receiving from you.
You know, I read this. One of the things you'll feel when you're starting to change your pattern is guilt. So he says, better to feel guilty because may shift eh. Better to feel guilty than abandon yourself.
Yeah. And I think that has been the theme for me simula na nag-40 ako. Like, kung mag-guilty ako, because it does come, especially with those you love, like your inner circle, mas mas mararamdaman mo yung guilt when you say no or when you put up boundaries. And I just learned na ako naman, I mean, sarili ko naman, and choice ko naman kung ano yung maging decision ko, na masaya ako after kong bitawan. Hindi yung dahil compliant ako, hindi dahil masunurin ako, or hindi dahil ayoko ng conflict. So yes, part of that is accepting whatever comes when you hold your ground and say your piece. So ikaw, anong sample pattern mo?
Feeling sorry for myself. Big yun. It's always been there from the beginning of time. Every time I will feel low or something will happen, like, not even related to that, just kunyari, anything na if, you know, I'm someone who plans something and pag hindi natuloy, mag-spiral ka into, oh, it's my fault, I did something, whatever. And it all boils down to something that I will feel sorry for myself about. Just something about that. So ngayon nga, I can freely say it. Because otherwise, if I'm still in there, it's hard to say that. It's hard to say that I do feel sorry for myself. It's a pattern. It's part of abandonment issues na I am still resolving and continue to resolve. It's an ongoing process. I feel now, the moment I'm there, my guides are already there with me saying, okay, stop this thought pattern. And I have learned to like snap out of it and think of something else. Kahit you still feel sorry for yourself, hindi siya nawawala. The feeling is still there because it's a pattern. It's so ingrained. Ang kapal na ng neural pathway ko about that. So I just have to shift on a different thought until that feeling or thought pattern passes. Kasi na-block mo yung thought pattern, and that really helps a lot. And now, instead of, putting a lot of energy into that, kasi nga, feeling sorry for yourself, what will come out of that? Nothing. It's just an unhelpful thought, an unhelpful drain of your energy. It doesn't really make things better. So, ang dami ko pa rin natutunan around it. Kasi baseline ko siya eh. It's a base pattern na all the other patterns are compounded on top of that. So, pag yung root cause, yung nasa ilalim ang i-acknowledge mo, the rest will just, domino effect. Matutumba din sila. It's still, step in, step no.
Hit or miss.
Yeah. Pero yun nga, it's the awareness. The awareness matters a lot.
Yeah, I think that's so big, yung awareness in everything. Yung awareness talaga brings us closer to a better way of living, I guess. And
it brings us to being compassionate with yourself. Because nga may pattern talaga, it's so ingrained, you will not easily cut it off. Cut that cord. Hindi siya ganun kadali. You will have to come back to try to have compassion.
And grace with yourself. Kasi ako, I'm still learning that for myself. To be gentle with myself. To know na hindi ko makukuha siya ng ilang beses lang. Like, it's really a continuous process of highs and lows. And everything in between. And so, minsan nakaka-frustrate eh. Minsan, napufrustrate ako. Minsan, I feel mad about it. But I'm just really mad about myself na, syempre, ginajudge mo yung sarili mo na, alam mo na eh. Alam mo na ganun. Pero, ganun pa rin yung ginawa mo. Alam mo yun? And so, yeah, that's a constant reminder for me to give myself grace, compassion, and give myself space to be able to change and maging aware ako sa tamang panahon at oras na nagpe-present yung patterns ko.
Yeah. How do you feel now about your patterns that you're aware of?
Naka-classify ko siya. Naka-classify ko siya sa mga bagay na kaya ko, mahihirapan ako, at medyo mahihirapan lalo ako. So medyo may level siya in terms of like how ingrained those patterns are for me. And ano yung magiging ripple effect when I cut off those patterns.
How do you know na nag-improve ka?
Well, for one, kapag nandun ako sa crossroads, kapag feeling ko I made a decision for myself, lately it's giving me wins na I don't necessarily have to share to anyone. Pero it's a win for myself. Like, it's an internal win na parang na-overcome mo yung...
Anong nangyayari inside you? Do they like dance and happy, like minions happy because you did something na hindi mo usually ginagawa?
They're like, smiling and medyo, jumping, ganun. Kasi I don't really dance by default. So, it's not, like, hindi ko masabing, ang normal reaction ko is happy dance, something, kasi hindi yun applicable sa akin. So, more on like jumping, masaya lang, ganun. Like, anong alam mong iba yung ginawa mo. And then after nun, parang masaya ka kasi you decided on that on your own. It wasn't forced on you or it wasn't expected of you. Noong una, talaga para akong may nginig factor kasi first time mong gagawin yung opposite sa usual mong ginagawa for how many decades.
Right. Pero alam mo, that's really helpful to point out that sometimes when you're slowly breaking a pattern, it's the internal feeling of a small win. And that moment lang, that one moment that, wow, na-overcome ko siya, is everything.
Yeah. For me, nagko-compound siya. And yung sabi nga nila, when you reach 40 daw, 40 and up daw, gives you the life na you wanted. And so, every decision you make is your own. So, it's intentional. And so, kaya siguro ganun yung feeling. Iba yung feeling sa loob. Kasi, like, hooray! You're doing something for yourself!
Malit na bagay, no?
Malit na bagay, pero malaki impact.
Malaki impact, yeah. Yeah, it's, yun eh. Sometimes, I think it's overwhelming to just say, oh, we have to change the whole pattern. It doesn't happen that way. It's really in small bits, in small steps. And it's that small win na out of the 10 times na encounter mo yung issue, one of them, you didn't do it, It's like, let's say it's an addiction. Alam mo, ang pattern is like an addiction. You're addicted to people pleasing.
Yeah.
You're addicted to conflict. You're addicted to drama. But 1 out of 10, sabi mo, no, I won't. I'm not gonna engage with this. And yeah, that's a big win. Yun. Yay! Big, win for each of us. Just the fact that we're aware of our patterns.
So yeah. So, to our listeners, are you aware of your patterns?
What are you doing to observe them and notice them?
Yeah, feel free to share. Comment here or send us a message or email us. And we're so happy to get your feedback.
Thank you. Till next time.